All right, I'm recording. Hey, so I wanted to just hop on this Zoom, and I didn't really tell anybody about it because I had a really crazy, hectic day today, which is good, not complaining. But I wanted to make my detox soup for the week. So I'm kind of going to walk you through it. I've prepped everything already this morning, and it's the simplest soup. I am making it today with, I had a brisket, a grass-fed, grass-finished brisket from Grassroots Co-op. And I also had these beef shanks, which are so good because I love the marrow and I love making my own beef broth. So what I did was when I woke up this morning, I woke up super early and I just threw my beef, the shanks and the brisket all in just one big Le Creuset pan with olive oil and just salt and pepper. And I let it cook for 2 hours, let it roast for 2 hours at 375 in my oven. And then I just brought it out of the oven, let it cool. And then what I did was, I'm going to show you this big pot right here. I filled it up with water almost to the brim and just enough space to throw in my brisket. And I've been cooking the brisket and the beef shanks pretty much all morning. So they are soft now. I'm gonna show you what they look like. I just took them out of the broth and I just chopped it all up. I chopped up the marrow. I chopped up all like the little tendons and ligaments and stuff because part of this detox soup is about healing the gut. So make sure, I'm begging you guys, make sure that if you're going to do this, you're going to make sure that you get grass-fed, grass-finished meat. You guys all have your Grassroots Co-op, or you can use Butcher Box. I also have a discount code for Butcher Box, but Grassroots has a bigger like plethora of meat, and Butcher Box kind of sticks to just like the steaks and this random things. But this is where I got Grassroots Co-op, the shanks and a brisket. You could also use a beef shoulder, which is really good. So I chopped all this stuff up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is in this pan here, I have mushrooms. So the soup is going to consist of mushrooms, carrots, celery, a whole entire clove of garlic. I have it all prepped here. One large onion, just a yellow onion. And then I have Jacinto or dinosaur kale in this bowl that I prepped and some zucchini. Okay, so that's the veg that's going to be going in. And like I said, in here I have two bay leaves, salt and pepper, and obviously all like the good like nibbles and kibbles from roasting that meat. And then over here in the Vitamix in my kitchen, I have done a whole entire 28-ounce can of organic imported Southern Italian tomatoes. I got these from Whole Foods. I did that with a small can of tomato paste and I just blended it. Okay. So that's going to go in later. And then for herbs, they're all fresh because fresh herbs help pull heavy metals. It detoxifies the liver, the blood. So we're going to go like deep, balls deep with real herbs. So here is a whole entire head of parsley. I have fresh oregano, fresh rosemary, fresh thyme, and fresh sage. And I just did a really quick chop. Oh, and a whole little container of basil, all fresh. So this is kind of going to be like an elevated beef vegetable soup. Do you remember when you were a little kid and you used to eat, I don't know if you did, but I was ghetto and I loved this. Alphabet soup. Do you guys remember alphabet soup? One of my favorite things in the whole entire world. This is going to be an elevated alphabet soup. And like I said, the biggest thing that we're doing this month is we're detoxifying, we're cleansing, and we're purifying all of our organs, our blood, our skin, our brain, okay? Because if you have any kind of mercury fillings, if you have ever cooked on an aluminum pan, if you've ever used aluminum foil, if you've drank out of aluminum cans, I actually shared some stuff today on Instagram. I'm going to share it with you guys as well in our PDF, is like what actually causes heavy metal toxicity in the body. If you eat a lot of tuna fish, if you eat a lot of swordfish, things, big fish that carry the mercury because they live for a really long time. Certain makeups, if you've ever smoked, I mean, the list goes on and on where heavy metals come from. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull all that stuff out and we're going to excrete it. And one of the ways we're going to do that is with food. Okay. And this is so important because the cleaner that your physical vessel is, the more connected you are to the divine and to spiritual connection. So if you're really looking to go to the next level with your spirituality, in turn, making all the other facets of your life incredible, your relationships, your wealth, your abundance, your happiness, your joy, your core desired feelings, this is the way to do it. Okay, so this is just one aspect. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Really quick, I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Oh, and I'm going to be doing 4 bags of miracle rice. So I already washed the miracle rice, and this is what it looks like. Just because I like to have that like pasta feeling, but no pasta, right? All right, so in this pan here, I already have some Portuguese olive oil. You know you're Portuguese when you have a gallon of olive oil at all times in your house. Over here, my beef broth is just working. I'm gonna put a cover on that. Like I said, I say about 4 tablespoons of olive oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna get this nice and hot. Okay, so this is a lot of people don't know this. So mushrooms should be cooked first before anything. And you wanna cook them so much that they almost burn. Right before they burn, if you're cooking them at a high heat, the mushrooms will then release their water. So then when you actually put mushrooms in a soup, the mushrooms will have like a meaty, really dense, chunky, like unctuous when you bite into it kind of feeling. Sorry, someone's calling me because I don't have my phone on Do Not Disturb, obviously. Hold on, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. This is every day of my life. I always forget. Hold on. Okay, so mushrooms, when they get put into soup, they always taste like mealy to me. So you have to make sure that you cook them really well first. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw all the mushrooms in. In this recipe, I did 2 of the small little containers of the baby Bella mushrooms. They're my favorite mushrooms, but you could also use any kind of mushroom. Mushrooms are also a great way to heal the body. So you could use these are crimini mushrooms or baby Bella mushrooms. You could use shiitake mushrooms. You could use white mushrooms. God, there's so many different mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, whatever you like. You might not even like mushrooms. And hey, if you don't like mushrooms, omit them. Don't put them into your soup, just don't put them into your soup. It's not that big of a deal, And like I said, I did all those mushrooms, and here I have 3 carrots and 4 large stalks of celery. And I like the celery leaves as well because it gives it a really great flavor. And again, all of these things that are going to be in my soup, in my beef detox soup, they're all vegetables that help you cleanse your liver, cleanse your blood, cleanse your organs, cleanse your brain, heavy metal detox. If you do this and you follow this the way I'm going to propose you do so, your whole life's going to change. We're going to go next level stuff going on here, guys. It's time. I know for a lot of you guys, you're not going to want to do this. I know for a lot of you guys, you're not going to want to go to this next level, and that's okay. But my spirit guides, my angels, my guardians, my ancestors, my loved ones who are no longer on this earth plane, universal energy, 5th dimensional consciousness, whatever you want to call it, has been really calling to me to step it up with foods that really truly heal your body. For most of you guys, obviously you've done at least 1 round of A28P. It's time to step up to the next level. Let me just get my water. It's time to step up to the next level. Another thing, and while this is cooking, another thing is I really want you guys to focus on drinking your gallon of water a day. I am going to also educate you really deeply this week and going forward, just every week, deeper and deeper and deeper on the supplements that you should be taking. And I am not going to be fasting at all for the month of March. I am going to be eating probably 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 meals a day. And every meal that I ingest is going to be for high vibrational frequency. It's not going to be to make my body look a certain way. But as you guys know, because this is my philosophy, when you do this kind of work, your body always follows suit. you go into it with the mindset to eat a certain way to make your insides glow. And then all of a sudden, your body starts to drop weight, you start to release weight, you start to release old patterns, old stories that you tell yourself. And that's what this is really about. Because remember, and I know that I'm hard on you guys sometimes, well, all the time, but we're our own worst enemies. And if you start to realize that the most important thing that your body does here on the three-dimensional earth plane is it animates you so that you can live your soul's purpose. That's the most important thing. So while this is working, I am going to just throw in, just going to throw in all my meat. It's a lot of meat, but you want this to be super, super high protein. And also this meat is very fatty, which I just think makes the best, absolute best soup. There's nothing worse than a soup that has like no unctuousness, no fat in it. So I made this with, like I said, the brisket and the shanks, but you can totally do this as well with ground beef. With ground beef as well. Soupishoneybalm.com. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in the tomato. Tomato is so important in heavy metal detox. Now, a lot of you are going to say, hey, Katie, doesn't this go against everything you've taught us that tomatoes are nightshade vegetables and yada, yada, yada? Yes, but I'm saying right now, we are shifting gears, okay? So every time I teach you something new, you know, your best bet is to empty out what I taught you before and learn the new way, because there's different reasons for everything that I do. There really, truly is different reasons for everything I do. I'm going to get this working really hot right now because what I like to do is I also like my soup to be very concentrated in taste. So I like to get the water out and really have it be like super brothy and tomatoey. It's just like my favorite thing. So right now, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. My tomatoes are releasing their water. You guys have seen that before, right? So my tomatoes are releasing their water. And I'm going to let these cook down for a bit. I'm going to kind of get them a little brown, a little burny. Just checking if anyone's hopping on. And I'm going to be doing these videos all the time. That is my next thing too, because I feel like a lot of us, including myself, not so much anymore because I'm a little bit older and I'm like, I don't give a shit, but everyone's like, I need recipes for this and I need recipes for that. And like, I'm the recipe queen, don't get me wrong. But when you eat this way, you don't really need a lot of recipes because you want the food to be very clean. So for instance, here, like there is no fake shit. The most processed thing that we're going to be doing is the miracle rice. And honestly, guys, you don't even need to put that in there. If you just want to make it like a vegetable soup with absolutely nothing else, that's totally fine too. And I'm just going to be working in batches here. So I don't know why, but my husband took my big soup pot to the gym and I'm trying to think why, and I can't remember. But I have a huge soup pot that's like this big, so I can usually do it all in one batch, but we're working on limited resources here at the Baybine residence today. So like I said, everything we're going to be doing here is going to be for a reason. Same thing. We're going to be doing this. I'm going to add this now. Might as well, as we're waiting. So I'm going to do a good large teaspoon of turmeric. Why turmeric? Turmeric is so anti-inflammatory. This is also huge for inflammation. And I'm just going to eyeball the turmeric. That looks good right there. You don't want to put too much because then it can taste like muddy. So I would say for a pot this big, a good teaspoon is where it's at. And that'll work down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just throw in all of my herbs. Okay. I'm going to throw in all of my green herbs. So it really just works in there. Like I said, this soup is going to be like, it's going to be super herbaceous, But I'm telling you, this is Matt's favorite soup. It's his absolute favorite soup. He loves this. And I'm gangster. I don't care. I taste my soup as I go, and I kind of adjust, you know, the salt and all that good stuff. The worst is getting a soup that's like super bland. It's just like awful. It's good. I'm gonna put some more salt. I'm gonna put some more pepper. I love my Redmond salt here. So I'm gonna flavor this up, a little bit more salt. I'm gonna crack some pepper. I already put a lot of salt on the meat and a lot of pepper on the meat while I was cooking it. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. This is why I don't have a cooking show on the Food Network, because I literally don't give a fuck. But when I was cooking my bones and my meat before, I put 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, because the apple cider vinegar will actually break the meat down better and will actually leach calcium from the bones to put into the soup. So 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. Don't worry, you won't taste that vinegary taste. You will not taste it, I promise you. Okay, so I'm just working on these guys right now. And the other thing is too, is I like to make, it's called a mirepoix. And it's just fancy French word for carrots, onions, celery. And what I'll do is once these guys are done, I'm going to transfer them. And I want to just brown these up because it just gives the soup a better flavor. But in the meantime, I'm going to throw in the kale. Ooh, hot. I'm going to throw in the zucchini. Get that situated. I'm not going to use all of it. Actually, I'm going to save some for dinner later on tonight. And as you can't see, but I'm looking right now at the mushrooms and they're almost perfect. So I'm just going to let those probably work in like another 2 minutes. The soup is just so, like, especially on a cold day, like I'm in New Hampshire, as you guys know, and it's really cold here. And honestly, there's nothing better than some good ass soup on a cold day. So once these are done, I'm just going to throw the carrots, the celery, the onion in, and then I'm going to do the garlic last, because you do not want your garlic to burn. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than burnt garlic. It just ruins everything. Ruins everything. So I'm really excited for what's to come. I've kind of hit this threshold in my life where it's like time to really step up and do the work. So I'm just really grateful, feeling happy about the people who want to come on this journey with me. When you get to this place of fifth dimensional reality, and when you get this place of purity of mind, body, and spirit, which really turns you into a multidimensional being, it's such a freeing state of living. Such a freeing state of living. I'm going to throw these carrots and celery in right now. On high heat. That's going to work. Once that's done, I'm going to transfer it all. You just want this stuff to be nice and brown. It just, when you get this like brown, kind of golden brown little bits in a pan, I really think that that's what makes things taste super good. I mean, that's just my opinion. Throw it in the onion now. I'm going to reserve the garlic for absolutely last. Because like I said, you just don't want burnt garlic. And I don't like the taste of just raw garlic. Not that it's raw when it's done, but it has a different flavor profile when you don't brown it. When you just throw it in the soup, it's, I don't know, it's just not good, my opinion. And it's looking a little crazy here, so we might be dividing the soup into 2 different bowls, but this is how we work. This is how we work over there. So last but not least, once this is done, I would say cook these down for about 10 minutes. Throw in the garlic, cook that for another like 2-3 minutes. Just make sure it's nice and golden brown. And then just throw all the veggies in the soup And you can let the soup simmer for a couple hours on the stove. This soup also freezes really, really, really well, which is awesome. And the meal plan that I'm going to be doing, and what we're doing is we're splitting 365 into these two pieces. So one is, so let me backtrack for a second. So going forward, H2AP is going to be a fully automated program. People are going to go through the program, and then they're going to have two choices. Either they did H2AP, they feel good, they can do it on their own, they don't want to be part of the community, and they just go on their merry way, or they choose to come into 365. So you can only do H2AP 1 month now. So they choose to come into 365, and they can do two things. One is a weight release, cleansing, detoxification, and purification system, or they hit all their goals in the first round of H2AP, and they're going to step into like a biohacking, high performance system. So there'll be two different systems in A365P going forward. And the workouts will be different. The food will be different. Everything will be different. And then we're going to go really deep into the spiritual stuff, the breath work, the meditation, the supplementation, the sleep, all the high performance hacks. And that's what's going to happen with 365. So what I really want to focus on going forward is biohacking the body so that we can truly, like, I hate to say it like this, but I'm just going to say it. So we can live for as long as we can, if not forever, right? I don't think that we should have to die when we're 70 years old. I think that we should be living well into our hundreds. Remember, I mean, just basic science, a cell is not made to die. It's what happens to the cell, the environment, and what's put onto the cell with experiences to the cell that makes it die, that compromises it, makes it age, and makes it die. So if we biohack our bodies and we're doing our breath work and we're thinking high vibrational thoughts and we're doing our meditation and we're eating to purify and to cleanse, and everything that we put in our body is helping our energetic system, our chakra system, if you will, open to higher dimensions of reality, aren't we going to live a hell of a lot longer and be a hell of a lot happier? So that's what we're going to be doing. So the meals every day are going to look like this. So this is what I'm doing. I am not doing the weight loss stuff. I'm just not, that's not where my mind is at right now. I'm just not. I know that's crazy, because who doesn't want to be skinny and cute? Absolutely. But I feel right now my body is calling for me to purify it, to cleanse it, to biohack it, to make it high performance, to make it as strong physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually that it can be. So what I'm doing is first thing in the morning, and I'm going to give you guys a couple options, but first thing in the morning, I'm going to be doing a Purium shake. So it's going to be 6 leveled tablespoons of this green power shake. It's incredible. It has all the stuff in it that helps detox blood, like spirulina and chlorella and all these really high vibrational greens. I do that with 2 cups of almond milk. You could do it with unsweetened coconut milk, anything like that. But we're again, on this, we're not going to be having dairy right now at this moment, because dairy is very inflammatory. So this is going to be like the ultimate anti-inflammatory meal plan. So the Purium shake, and that's going to be my first thing in the morning with a scoop of collagen. So 6 tablespoons of, I'll show you what it is. 6 tablespoons of this guy right here. It's apple berry shake. I love it. And you can get it. I have the links to purchase it. And then 1 scoop of collagen and 2 cups of, I'm doing almond milk, but you can do unsweetened coconut milk. I want you to stay away from soy as well. So coconut or almond milk are your two options. And you're going to do that first thing in the morning, like after you work out and after you do like all your rituals, because when you work out and you breathe and you meditate, you want to make sure that you don't have any food in your body. Okay. So you can really get to the divine and make those connections while you're doing all that work in the morning. So Purium shake with collagen first thing in the morning. A couple hours later, you're going to have a bowl of detox soup. In the afternoon, you could have like 2 eggs, or you could have a can of, I love this. So not everybody likes this, but I'm Portuguese, so I grew up eating this, sardines. The ones that I use, I'll show you. The sardines that I use are, no, they're not here. Yes, they are. I get them at Whole Foods. They're called Bella. They're from Portugal. This one is organic extra virgin olive oil with piri piri. It's a little bit of hot sauce. I love this. There's no carbohydrates and 13 grams of protein in each serving. There's 2 servings, so it's 26 grams of protein in this one little tiny can. You could have that in the afternoon with a cup of blueberries. Blueberries also, again, heavy metal detox, purification of the blood, all that good stuff. Or you could have, I really love it, almond butter. Almond butter with like an apple. And this is the almond butter that I use. It's called Artisanal. Oh, sorry, I can't read. Artisana Organics, raw. Make sure it's raw almond butter. You could also have some soaked almonds or some soaked walnuts. What do I mean by soaked? You just put them in water overnight and it takes like the tannins off of the outside of the nut, which is why you have a hard time absorbing nuts, the protein from nuts. So you could have a couple tablespoons of that in the afternoon, like I said, with an apple or pear. Again, helps detox you. And then at night, you're going to have greens, 2 cups of greens, a lot of garlic on this, because garlic also cleanses your blood, and it also helps with heavy metal detox and protein. So like tonight, so today I had my purium shake. Once this is done, I'm going to have like a nice big hearty bowl of this soup. If I'm hungry later on, I'm going to have some blueberries and maybe some walnuts, or I got some beautiful apples at Whole Foods. I'm going to have an apple cut up with some almond butter. And then tonight I'm going to have I just roasted some beautiful chicken breasts in the oven last night with fresh herbs. And I'm going to have that with like broccoli roasted in the oven, or some broccolini with garlic, or I have some beautiful baby spinach just sauteed with garlic, just very, very plain. I also am doing a gallon of water. I'm going to be getting a little bit deeper into the supplement stuff this week on Zoom. So stay tuned for that. And I'm really working on boosting my immune system. And I'm only having coffee in the morning. And you want to make sure that you're having organic coffee, like I said, because coffee is the biggest carrier of mycotoxins, which is mold toxins. I don't make any money when you guys buy that coffee that I drink. I don't even know this guy. I know him from owning the coffee shop. I don't make any money off of that. Okay. So, and I don't have an Amazon account. I don't make any money when you guys buy anything on there either. So just know that I'm not like pushing this coffee because I want you guys to buy it. This is like serious. Make sure that, the coffee that you're drinking is low in mycotoxin. And I'm having 2 cups of coffee in the morning and tons of water. And I'm also getting these awesome little ginger shots. I'll show you what they look like. I get them at Whole Foods. They're called Core Shots. This one is ginger, acerola. Again, high immune system. Cordyceps mushrooms, high immune system. Ginger juice, lemon juice, a little bit of pineapple juice, and astragalus, and black seed oil. All of this is, I have one right now, actually. All of this is like immune system booster through the roof, because everyone is so afraid of getting sick, but then they don't want to do the things that it takes to not get sick. And these are some of the things that you have to do to make sure that you don't get sick. It's super gingery. I love ginger. Some people might not like it. It might be really harsh for them, but honestly, it's like so yummy. I'm going to throw my garlic in now. Let this work. And then once I'm done, guys, I'll take a nice picture of the soup when it's all done, and I'll post it on our Mighty Networks. It's going to be awesome. Oh my God, it smells so, you guys, I wish you could smell my house right now. It smells so good. So once this is done, I'm going to throw this in the pot, and I will take a good picture, and I will let you guys know what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it feels like. Yum, yum. Yeah. So this is just one of the soups. There's like 6 to 8 other soups that I'm going to be making over the course of the next couple weeks. So stay tuned. But like I said, so easy, so delicious, just so cleansing, so purifying, so hearty, especially right now because it's super cold. And I'm just really looking forward to the next level. And look at it. It's so beautiful. Look, I don't know if you can see. Here, I'll show you. It's starting to snow here. I don't know if you guys can see my backyard. So pretty. That's why I need that soup. All right, guys, I love you and I will see you later. Bye.